Okay, so hopefully you figured it out, and if not, the answer to my little challenge will be to Docker run -d. So -d basically runs it as a background process or as a daemon process. So that way it doesn't just constantly blink, and it's not tied to the terminal that you're working in. If you were to, close out of it, it wouldn't close your container. The next thing that we need to do is we need to map a port. So if you remember those expose commands that are like implicitly done in the Nginx container, I think it was 80. So 80 will be the port, and we'll map it to 80. So this is I believe this is your public port, the port of the host that you're on. All right, so this is the port of our virtual box. And then the second one is what you want to map that host port to the container port. So our container port is 80 and our host port is 80. All right. And so then the name of our image is web app -James latest. All right. So now let's run this again. And now you can see it prints out. This is the full ID of the hashed ID of the container that's being run. So now if I do a Docker PS, boom, I can see my my container, and it's the last like 8 digits. Okay, so then how do I access my awesome web app, right? All right, so what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to go to your browser, and you would think as a go-to would be to go to localhost. So that actually won't work. See, it's going to, unless you already have something running on localhost, it's going to be like, you can't be reached. You're an idiot. So because remember, we're running this as a virtual box, all right? So this virtual box actually has its own local IP to your PC. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to access it at that local IP, and it actually tells you, if you ever noticed, what that local IP is on startup. So when you do the Docker Quick Start terminal, when you first create it, it actually tells you what IP. And I believe that 192.168.99.100 is the sort of standard Docker, boot to Docker, or Docker Toolbox IP. So that's where we're going to want to go. We're going to go to 192, and I've already got it saved here. So we're going to go to here. Boom. Oh, dang it, that didn't work. Oh, wait. Because we named it webapp.html. Boom! Our first awesome web app. Congratulations, guys. We just did it. We created our first web app. Okay, so let's see. The next thing we will do is we are going to demonstrate again how that port works. All right, so I can now run simultaneously another image of the same thing. All right. So now if I do Docker PS, I will have 2 web app Jameses running right now. One will be on port 84 on my host, and the other will be on port 80. So now I can access my new version on port 84. Boom. It did reload, I promise. Let's do like a crap cache bust here, and then it reloaded again. All right, so that worked. All right. So then if you were to ever make changes and then rebuild, it would show those changes. So that's it. You've created your first web app, and you've learned hopefully how to do a couple of port bindings. You've learned how to run your container as a Docker daemon so that it runs in the background. And you've learned hopefully the benefits of reusing trusted images. So yeah, well done. Hopefully that was useful. In the next video, we'll learn how to clean up all of these ongoing images. So these are our current working running instances, and look at all these images that we have just exited, sitting out there, just wasting space on our computer. So I'm going to go through a few quick hints on how to get rid of all this in one command so that you can have a nice clean